I welcome my viewers once again, as well as the subscribers, to my 143rd video of my YouTube channel, Writer Sandhanam Speaks, which is also the 18th episode on the Tamil Thirumandiram poems by the sage Thirumoolar. The theme of the poem now taken up speaks about one of the most controversial subjects in the spiritual world. The subject is, within quote, desire, on pronouncing which a prominent spiritual sage emerges before us. He is nobody but Lord Buddha, whose birthday, enlightenment day, Parinirvana day, all on a full moon day, was celebrated recently on 1st May. I had in the past put out some exclusive videos on Buddha. Besides this, in almost all my episodes, Buddha keeps coming up, commanding me to be quoted on desirelessness and unattachment. Quote, desire is the root cause of human suffering, has been the core of Buddhism. Quotation ends. Why is it a controversy? It is only the English word desire creates a controversy. One section of society which is earnestly spiritual raises the question whether it is undesirable to have desire for roofing over one's head, cloth to cover his body, and food to feed his belly. Some even mockingly ask whether sages, including Buddha, never had desire to fulfill his basic needs. One philanthropist, Ananda Pindiga, built a vihar for Buddha to reside in. Yet another lady philanthropist, Visakha, offered clothes and food to the monks. Let me explain. Fulfilling one's basic needs does not come under desire. Then what comes under? When one finds out the exact Pali word Buddha used was, within quote, tanha, roughly translated in English, is thirst, within quote. It is also tricky. All, including sages, are thirsty for water and quenched by water. But Buddha used the word tanha as synonyms for craving, hankering, and sometimes greediness. This mental tanha or thirst or craving grows more by quenching it. It is also a synonym for, within quote, becoming, in contrast to, within quote, being. The poor thirsting to become rich, who in turn desires to become richer, the weak wanting to become strong, and the strong in turn wanting to be stronger, extending to the field of power, etc. Whether this becoming involving one's effort brings happiness, our experience is the contrary. Once man reaches various higher levels, fear grips him to retain it, which results in his unhappiness. Another fallout of this, sages warn, is karma, which ultimately entangles him in the net of birth and death. Since this is an episode on Thirumoolar, one may wonder, why should I speak at large on Buddha? Sages are different, but voice is the same. Each echoes the other. Now let me recite Thirumoolar's poem on desire or thirst or tanha or craving or longing. ஆசை அருமின்கள் ஆசை அருமின்கள் ஈசனோடாயினும் ஆசை அருமின்கள் ஆசை படப்பட ஆய்வரும் துன்பங்கள் ஆசை விட விட ஆனந்தமாகுமே. Translation. Cut off your desire, cut off your thirst, even though that thirst is for God's sight. More your thirst, more sorrow it breeds. Less and less your thirst, more and more happiness increases. The Tamil word Thirumoolar uses for craving or desire is Asai. If correctly translated, it is desire to possess. The moment one possesses what was desired, then another desire pops up and it is unending. Another Tamil poet Thaimanor uses a telling image. Vetta vetta thadaikum vetkai maram. Meaning, you may cut off the branch of a tree, but it sprouts again. So, the tree desire has to be rooted out. One need not suppress with difficulty one's longing or becoming. Enough if you stand and stare at it with restraint, like staring at a cobra at a distance without approaching and touching it. The second line, that, quote, one should cut off the thirst even to see God, quotation ends, should not be taken literally. Thirumoolar here emphasizes the most noble desire of God darshan only as an exaggerated example, which is the ultimate aim of any aspirant. It is like somebody swearing that he would not utter a lie even if the sky falls down. It is a poetic license. The emphasis is on desire and not on God. The recent sage U.G. Krishnamurti explains this clearly. Thus, quotation, in you hunger is satisfied, but in me it is burnt. Quotation ends. Hunger is compared to human desire in the form of thought. Sages are freed without effort from this desire producing thought. One thought comes to a stop. Longing, craving, hankering also comes to an end. Once this thought comes to an end, your craving also comes to an end. The last two lines of the poem say, more your desire, more your suffering, and less your desire, more your happiness. Sages also warn that there is no innate happiness in any material thing, which are ephemeral, temporary. This includes a human relationship too. Hence, acquiring more and more will not necessarily lead to more happiness, as explained above. My simple example is, instead of oneself lamenting he does not own a luxurious car like the Rolls Royce or Mercedes Benz, he must be happy that he is relieved of its expenses. And any future accident, on seeing a rich man becoming raided by the income tax department, one should be happy his income is limited and escapes thus mental agony. Pain is inbuilt in material objects and in our relationship. The problem is not in desire per se, which we fulfill on a day-to-day basis for survival, but indulging in expectation is a problem. If one takes part in a feast today, he should not expect it on all days. One need not be a sage to have bone-dry feeling towards fulfilling the needs, but we can, on listening to sages like Buddha and Thirumoolar, slowly extricate ourselves from this object-based desire entanglement, one by one, and increase our happiness gradually. This is a consolation from Thirumoolar's poem, aimed at ordinary souls like us. There was King Janaka in our epic, who, though ruled a kingdom, was free from sense of possession, leading to Ananda, that is joy for ever, joy everlasting. The recent example is our former President of India, the respected Dr. Abdul Kalam, who entered the Rashtrapati Bhavan as President with his sole property of his personal suitcase containing his dress and some simple personal things for his daily use. When he left this 300-roomed mansion after 5 years, he opened the suitcase among those around him to see. His suitcase contained only his past personal belongings and nothing added to it. To their astonishment, he dusted off his suitcase to emphasize the fact that even his suitcase is free from the attachment of palace dust, thus reminding us of the former Rajarishi Janaka. One small anecdote, personal and related to this from my life. During the tenure of Dr. Kalam's presidentship, I presented to him my Tamil translation of the book The Gospel of Buddha by Paul Karras, titled in Tamil, Buddharin Punidavak. Sure, he should have fully understood the snare, pitfalls of desire, thirst, craving, as warned by Buddha, by going through the book. And as a serious Tamil reader, should have found the parallel in Thirumoolar's words too. It is possible, at least for a few of us, to see the danger of craving. The result is unalloyed joy. Teaching is meant only for the honest few. What is the next instruction from Thirumandiram? Let us wait. Meanwhile, I thank you all.